Why don't you think CryptoKitties is a bigger project today?
Well, for I guess a similar reason that people are unhappy with Top Shot, because CryptoKitties always had the goal of effectively, I mean, it wasn't their goal, but it was effectively a Web 2 company in a Web 3 space. And Top Shot is kind of a Web 2 thing. It's a product. They're offering you collecting cards on the blockchain. Well, they're offering you moments, which is the change, but that's what they're offering. They're trying to replicate the card collecting world, and that doesn't mean that you profit. I think Top Shot would have done much better if all the other collections didn't exist, because people just have an absolutely inflated view of what should happen when you buy a good NFT. The price should go up because it's good. And in reality, CryptoKitties should now be a relic. It should be. This was the first ERC 721. It is what I call the first wave of adoption. Um, it it got in. It was the first project ever to 100,000 unique users, which is still quite an insane number. Like very few have ever done. I think Axie Infinity were the next to do it, and then it might have even been Top Shot. So I think it went Dapper, Axie, and Axie exists because of Dapper. The team met in CryptoKitties, and then Dapper again. So what Dapper are good at doing is getting lots of people in, and that was always their goal. That was one of the issues with um, CryptoKitties. Well, it was the supply and demand aspect,
Mm-hmm.
but they Dapper, I remember maybe middle of December somewhere, did an article where they said we want there to be CryptoKitties that are $2 to $3, and Discord rioted.
Yeah.
And they said this from the start of Top Shot. They said, "Look, price has to be low. We need people to get in. Our goal is to bring people to the." They're one of they're one of the only companies who say our goal is to bring as many people to NFTs as we can, and then they do actions that try and do that. And then people
Mm.
don't like that because when you get loads of people in, you actually need really cheap NFTs. And when all you're really after is profit, you're not too much of a fan.
This is a really cool conversation because I feel like people are having this convo now with Solana saying, hey, there's not going to be a lot of gas fees here on this protocol, so we can do $2 to $3 NFTs. So here's adoption. But how do you merge these two thought processes of still being in Web3, still having a small community that's looking for not to have their NFT or their asset completely diluted with trying to bring new people into the project? Is there a way to do that at scale, or is it just two that are never going to work together?
I think there is a way to do it, but I do think you need the demand. You, what we're seeing is the projects that have gone big, I think go big before they have the people to go big because they then say, "Oh, but then we're ready for when they come." But if you can just mint these almost out of nowhere for very cheap on Solana, on Flow, then in my opinion, what you should be doing is waiting until that demand comes and then minting. Um, so you should just try to meet the demand instead of it gets tricky because when you start having VCs involved and you have targets to meet and then they, if we can sell more of this so that we can meet that target which unlocks bursary A, it just gets it it's not a one solution solves all because there are things behind the scenes that I couldn't possibly know about, I guess.